Live is supposed to be on the right on the front. I don't know what the fuck. It's never right there where it's supposed to be. On phones. If I do videos. Yeah. Yeah, now it's work. Whatever. God, that's annoying. Live is supposed to be on the right on the front. I don't know what the fuck. It's never right there where it's supposed to be. Alright, cool. Sounds good. Let's do the sharing thing. The social medias. Man, I don't know why it's stuck on this one thing. There. Okay. So let's record. Or should I make the notes first? Okay, right. I did the notes in a weird way, but let's do it this way. All right, cool. This time I got my notes. I've done this so many times, it shouldn't be a big deal. But here we go. Hello. It's not broken, thank fuck. Hello. I've done this a bunch of times already. You know how internet producers love to talk about how many times they've recorded something? It's not so much the content, except that it was rambly and it didn't really go anywhere and stuff like that. Besides that, I kept not changing the quality of the record to be better. And I was looking at the footage and I was like, this looks like gross. I thought this is going to look as good as and it looked gross. But now I fixed it. So I was just like, well, I'll just make a truncated version of everything else I did. And if you want to see those attempts, ignore the fact that I'm going to talk about editing that stuff together because I'm never going to. There'll be a link to the playlist somewhere. I don't know how this works anymore. Okay, I got a little notebook. I'm going to use notes to keep this in order because my main issue has always been straying off topic, and especially when I talk by myself, and I've noticed this because I've had to try to edit my own shit. But when I've had a topic, it's much easier to, you know what I mean, like, make it make sense. So anyway, hi. If you don't know me, And this is Smokin' Madness, hosted by me, Michael. Why is it called Smokin' Madness? Cuckoo, 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 choo, cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. I'm crazy. Fuck. When I was in college, I made a student art piece, and it was called Smokin' Madness because I smoked a lot of hookah. I'm obviously smoking tobacco out of. This pipe is very legal to smoke tobacco out of, to simulate the effects of a hookah pipe without having to have the expense of a hookah. And it's harsher than you'd expect, but this is the life I live now. And that's all it's ever been. Tobacco. And Smokin' Madness will be replacing Stoned Vlogs. I wonder why. Smokin' Madness is also going to, in the future, have a bunch of clips of gameplay footage. Sample of that. Good editing, future me. So, you know, Stoned Vlogs is dead. Long live Smokin' Madness. Whatever. Wow, I still haven't decided on an intro at the time of this recording, so whatever intro you saw there, I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Michael Bennett, and I created The Bunny Perspective, and I want to talk about what this is. So, Smokin' Madness will generally have a topic, hopefully a guest. I'd like this to be a live stream thing that is occasionally recorded with a specific purpose like this. And but I more than everything, I want to have people on and have discussions or conversations. It's kind of like a podcast but live, I guess. There wasn't really a word for this before, but podcasts, I mean, like, podcasts have more of a point than this. So I don't know what this is. I just know that people used to love watching them and still do, I guess. Bomber Guy had a big stream thing. I mean, streaming in general, right? It's like a thing. I'm not dumb. I was doing it back in the day. So let's talk about what I want I wrote discuss why the show to like. I think that's the only thing I never discuss when I talk about this stuff. We'll get to that. But yeah, so like when the Change the Channel document came out, and I fully intended to get more work done, and then the move happened, and there's been a lot of problems in this apartment, and I've had a lot of jobs. Like I'm on job 3, but I think we're on a keeper this time. And but it was just kind of really turbulent and hard to get anything done. And right now it's still a challenge. But hopefully in the future I'll be able to correct some of these problems. So with the move and everything, that really messed me up. And then I just had a couple of really bad jobs that just really messed with my morale. And then I was watching videos and I was like, I had like this panic attack that everyone was discussing things that either I would like to discuss or you know what I mean? Like, I was starting to think that there was just no room anymore. And that's silly. There's always room. So, hi. I guess I can talk a little bit about why this and not like a philbunny thing. And it's mostly because the bunny perspective, I want it to be something very specific now. And it's going to take a lot of doing to get it the way I want it to be. And I'm worried about if it's going to work or not. So I want it to be presented exactly the way it should be presented before I present it. I don't know if that's stupid, but that's what I'm trying to do. So, at any rate, so the bunny perspective is on whatever, and you're getting this. Now, but I want to tell you a little shameful secret, and this is not untrue. Like people of the time will know. And I plan on making an episode all about the forums, and I know some people that I can discuss this with. But I used to kind of just make the bunny perspective as an excuse to do the live stream. So back in California, I very quickly found out that it was way more fun to talk to people and goof around and play games or, you know, discuss things. Like there weren't, you couldn't, at that point, this is still 2010-ish. You couldn't yeah, it had to have been because it was like the Christmas of 2010. Whatever year Doug Walker and Angry Joe and a bunch of those other guys were all doing like a Christmas live stream that they never did again. Yeah, that. Nash ran it. I remember that. Anyway, but yeah, like I was streaming because I was really jealous of Nash and his Radio Dead Air. I was like, that's the shit. And he's got like a radio license and everything that he always gets fucked with. And but yeah, like I was really into it. Like I was stupidly into it. And really then making the bunny perspective became an excuse to, you know, do the show. And I rapidly ran out of things that I wanted to talk about. I should have realized it early on. The things that really make me mad are like TV series that just that start with really good ideas or start really, really good but get really, really bad. That always made me upset. Glee, obviously. And then things that were just like on paper seemed good but were really bad, really bothered me. Things that were obviously ripoffs of other things. Like, I don't think the Hunger Games hadn't come out yet. And the first two episodes of The Bunny Perspective were the first one was about Battle Royale. And the second one was about The Condemned. And I really only did Battle Royale as a truncated Cliff Notes with some jokes. And it was with the first Phil puppet. Like, it was like this tube. I could almost rebuild it right now from memory. It was basically you took a foam tube and then you took a piece of foam, you glued felt to it, then you turned it into a U. You stuffed the part of its mouth in, wherever its mouth is, and then you glue in how you want the flaps to be, and it makes kind of this big poofy sock puppet. And he looked more like an alien. And that's when I was like, well, maybe I'll just make him an alien. And then I put the hat on. And the hat hit the bulbous, disgusting, round... So anyway, just hide things with a hat. And then I built a new puppet using a pattern. And that white puppet I used all the way through California. And then in Michigan, I built the yellow puppet with Pac-Man eyes. But he still looked too much like Max. And no one liked him. Or no, I didn't like that. I got that comparison all the time. It looked like Max from Sam Max from Let's Please. So I made a version of what I thought his final form would look like, because he's, in my mind, Phil's always a fourth dimensional elder thing. So I built this really cool four-eyed puppet that no one likes. So I've been really it's really not... I don't really want to reintroduce Phil until I'm ready to do something with him. And making this is... It gets me in the habit of making things on a semi-schedule again, which is harder to get back into than you'd think, especially with a day job. Because when I did this before, I didn't have a day job. Oh, no, I did. No, I remember. What am I talking about? I had a huge day job. Then I was doing it in L.A., I would always make excuses for why everything took so long to come out. But, I could live stream all the time. It was easy. You just turn the live stream on and talk. So there's that. And then I realized that if I make things again, then people will be aware that there's a live stream again. And then people might come back to the live stream again. And that's what we can do. So the point of Bunny Perspective at one point just became the live stream. And then life changes happened. And I stopped live streaming as much. And it really tapered off, and I was trying to move into gaming with live stream, and it never really worked out, and then I got fired, and blah blah blah. So that's what this show is. It's me talking about stuff. It'll be more interesting in the future. I'm going to be doing a review of the Han Solo movie because it's on Netflix and I've already seen it in theaters. There's a review with Phil and Heather if you want to watch that, like from like our first reaction to everything. The second half of this video is about Lindsay Ellis and Dan Olsen a little bit. So, yep. I figured it out. It took me a really long time to figure out why I thought this was possible, but I get it. I get it now. I'm just gonna keep plugging at what the aforementioned plan for the show, right? It's by I'm pairing this with this sort of open letter to two professionals who I used to know, and now I have two professionals that I used to know stuck in my head, so I feel like I'm obligated to do it. That's not true. I don't want to sing. I agree. I'm the first person to point out that I'm a starfucker if, like... No, that's not true. I think the second I got fired, I wanted to talk everybody. I don't... This is hard. When Lindsay fired me, Dan definitely was still talking to me. He was working on a lot of like actual projects, so he would like come out on a live stream and we played like Magic the Gathering on this open program called Cockatrice. So we could all play Magic. It's not like this arena bullshit where it's just two players and they have no intention of making it multiplayer. It's like Board Game Simulator or whatever. So we were playing Magic the Gathering with like Rantasmo and Razorvine and Sin Wicked. All right. So we're all playing this, and slowly but surely, Cockatrice, the program gets dismantled for copyright reasons. And I was streaming it. I don't know where any of that footage ended up. I think it's all gone. I think it was on Justin TV or some shit too. Like it's super gone. It might have been on live stream. Like I don't. But at any rate, and then I realized that League of Legends was a thing, and then I just started playing League of Legends forever. And like the last contact I really had with Dan was I was getting have a conversation about League of Legends, where his audio is like super loud and you can barely hear me because it's like it's like in my room and I was half-assing it. I didn't really care. You can tell I care because this is like the 12th or 15th iteration of this. And also I've been thinking about it. Like I say all this stuff out loud, and if you want to watch all those, they're all on the aforementioned videos, like all the things I said, like just awkward pauses and everything. But I kind of figured it out. I figured out why I think there's always a chance is because that's the narrative that Lindsay pushes in like one video about Guardians of the Galaxy. And in that one video, this is not like you tricked me, but she does make it sound like she understands, but I guess the problem keeps being that I don't understand what warranted firing me and also cutting me off socially 100% and whatever. I guess I deserve it. It's not healthy to keep fixating on it, which is why this is the least emotional I feel about this subject. And, of course, Steven Universe has the best song in the world about it now, wherein the context is, I'm in a good place right now. I feel really good. It's the only reason I'm, like, seriously trying to reach out. I don't know how to do that, because I did try to do that privately on Facebook, and it didn't work. And I believe I was blocked on Twitter for forever, and I'm not blocked on Twitter. You have to unblock someone. Like you have to actually do it. So and everyone tells me it's unhealthy, it's blah blah blah. But the last thing, with the last talk at all with Lindsay was like this conversation where I think she just acknowledged she was in the call and Nella did all the talking. I've talked about this a bunch. That kind of behavior makes you think. Anyway, I don't want to talk about why situation was it was. If Lindsay wants to talk to me, I'm really great to tell her all the gory details. I think she'll understand. And like I said, I just want to help. I just want to help. I think everyone's doing amazing things. I think people are saying really great things. I agree with everyone. And I think you can go further. I think there are more points that could be made. And I would like to help make those points easier to digest. But I also get where Dan and Lindsay would just rather me not try to be involved at all. Which I also get. So this is like one of those, you have to like, it's like put up or shut up, I guess. You have to get yourself up by your bootstraps. And all that shit that we say that white men tell black dudes. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not. It is, and they do. I'm trying. And if I'm not, it's fine if I'm not the ally anyone wants, I guess. But it turns out that a lot of issues really personally affect me, and I want to see them presented in the right way, and I want to see them get better. And like I said, worst case, I just do this. I think I don't want to like. Also, hey, future me. Skip to this part if you don't want to hear a bunch of internet drama from so many years ago. But don't skip this part if you're Lindsay Ellis or Dan Olson specifically, because this is kind of an open letter to you. But if you don't want any other shit, skip to here for the conclusion. Okay, because I know some people don't care. And if you don't care, it's fine. It's fine. That's not what the show is going to be about. If they don't respond to me, it has nothing to do with the future of the show. Han Solo is loaded up on my television. I'm watching it after I'm done recording this, okay? When I edit. Because there's no way I can watch it and not do some editing while I'm watching it. Because fucking Han Solo. Okay. Go to that time thing. Thanks. Love you. Kisses. Okay, so where was I? I just want to help. I just want to help. I have fun with Yeah, I don't know. I'll disclose that when the document came out and I put out the video about Jew Wario, it got a lot of views. That's nice. And I got a lot of responses from people. And I invite all those people to respond to me again so that we can do some more stuff. Because I want to talk about the forums and stuff. I want to talk about how everyone's doing. I'm like, Karen and me are going to have a conversation in the near future. And I'm really looking forward to it. About Enter the Spider-Verse. So I'm really looking forward to talking to Karen. Because we literally haven't talked in about a decade. It's been 6 years since we've I DM'd her and it was like 2013 was the last time we direct matched. So people get busy, man. I understand. All right. But we're going to have a conversation and that's going to be its own whatever this thing is. And I think because I'm going to be recording that at a decreased quality, I'm just going to draw whoever I'm talking to. And that'll be a fun gimmick. Gimmicks are fun. So I'm probably doing whatever. You get it. Jesus. But yeah, so I want to keep this, I don't know. It's open invitation if those guys want to come on, obviously, and talk about whatever. And I just, like, it's stupid. And it has nothing to do with how many views they have. It has nothing to do with their success. Because I knew they were going to be successful. I mean, Lindsay was already leaning in that direction that she is now and was being successful at it. And I always knew Dan was going to do great things because I kind of the reason they know each other. So it's not like, you know, I'm upset that I was right that they're popular. And it's not like, hey, they're popular. Hey, notice me again. It's I feel better. I have a better situation. I'm in a really unique situation that I'd like to discuss with you guys. And I miss you. I haven't had friends that I've had a lot of inclination to get a hold of after any amount of time. And I think every couple of years, I haven't had friends like that. I get a little bit frustrated with some of the people I meet because, you know, it's not that. Yeah, this part's always hard. It's so stupid. It's like not even. It's like, who cares? Get over it. And I'm like, I'm right. It took me a very long time to get over a very personal breakup. It took something like 2 years of just constant obsession. It got weird and creepy. I'm not happy about that kind of. I'm not that person anymore, certainly, but I'm not happy about how that went. But you know, like, I have a hard time letting some things go that I know are important, and it meant a lot then, and I think it'll. I don't know. Bottom line is, what do I got to do? I don't care if it's in writing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't these are all things that legitimately, if you do see this, Lindsay or Dan, which you won't, or you will, and I'll never hear from you, or it's whatever. And honestly, this is fucking the last. I can't keep doing it. If somebody else goes, oh, you really should, whatever, I'm never gonna be saying no. The door's always open, but I'm not knocking on your guys' doors no more. Like, this is it. I'm done. Not atting you on no Twitter no more. Even though, fuck, I always have something witty to say. I'm sick of it. I hate myself. Ah! Who needs a drink? You know what I'm saying, kids? Don't you worry. That's where I keep my tobacco. I have a mechanism. That's what you're hearing, the mechanism of tobacco. Also, you know, you guys realize that I live in a really red state and I'm a super liberal. These are jerks. We elected a blue guy recently, and I think it's going to keep going in that direction in this next election. I'm really jazzed about helping with the. I just want to talk again, you guys. Fuck. There's so many good jokes. Just miss you guys. Some of you. Yeah, you notice I didn't do an open letter to Kyle Calgren, huh? Fuck. I miss him too, but I don't miss him. I guess I don't. I'd talk to him though too. That door's open too. I mean, I don't know. The conversations I've had with Dan and Lindsay were really important to me. And I guess that's why it feels important for me to at least try one more time to be like, things are different. I'd really like to be considered. I know who I am. I know I'm always a conversation or a meeting. But I'm trying. I would like to try. What's the worst that happens? I fail again? What possible thing can I do that you can't distance yourself from? In all honesty, what did I do? I mean, I'm not a predator. I've never raped anyone. I've never assaulted anyone. The shit that has happened, the domestic violence shit, that's a good story. It ends up being pretty positive in the end. It was ridiculous, and I felt pretty cheated by the system. But, you know, sometimes you get cheated by the system so that somebody who's a real scumbag actually gets caught by the system. But I was also, 23? I was 23. And it was a really weird, really violent fight on both ends. Why are you talking about this? This all has to be edited out. You're like, these are like megabytes of fucking footage that you have to go not even use. Because who needs to hear about that shit? It needs to be its own thing. And you're just like barfing out information. Because you're just like, well, I'm not a bad guy. Well, domestic violence at one time. It's expunged. And they can't even look it up. It's like, what are you even talking about it for? It's full honesty. For what? For what? Full honesty to what? Fuck. I just don't want to talk about it anymore. Because it just sucks. Because this is here's what it is. Here's why I keep spiraling out in this conversation. Because every single time I make one of these and I sit down to edit it, I just go, you're going to put all this effort in, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to matter. Nothing changes. Nothing ever changes. So what's the fucking point? Hey, welcome back. Wasn't that cool? I'm glad you skipped it. If you don't like that kind of stuff, I definitely understand why you wouldn't want to watch all that. Because it sucked. It wasn't even really worth watching. But in the future, there's going to be more reviews and stuff and discussions. I'm not using clips, so y'all are going to have to watch. So I'm going to try to warn you if I'm going to watch something. So watch Solo on the Netflix, and that'll be the review that comes out whenever it comes out. You know. If you're a Patreon member, you notice that I changed everything, so there's no perks, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. Just if you can help, please help, and then I'll figure it out in the future. Thank you very much. Things change when you like your day job. That's all there is to it. So I just want you to know that it's not that I don't want to make a puppety thing or the bunny perspective, and it's not like I dislike Phil as a character, but I need to talk about personal things, and Phil is not the appropriate mechanism to talk about personal shit. He never was, and every time I tried to do something like that, it always was a weird episode that didn't quite make any sense. And this way, that can be its own thing. Phil can always be referenced as a side character. If I ever feel like doing something from Phil's perspective, I always have that option to do it. And if, if this works, if things go the way I want it to go, there'll be a live stream pretty regularly. So look for that schedule in the near future. I am sorry that it's all over the place. I'm going to try to stick to YouTube because... Not because Twitch is bad, but because, boy, redundant uploads is not a thing I want to fucking do, and I can just shuffle them into the playlist that I want them to be in. So if I talk about video games, I can put in the video games playlist. Okay, whatever. I'm not happy about anything, by the way. These all merit discussions on their own, but I'm not happy to be doing YouTube shit. I'm not happy not to use clips. I'm putting their dumb background music in the back of this just so it's not fucking mind-meltingly boring. Or it has no visual or auditorial differential, and it hides any background noises that I fail to get rid of with the first pass on the fucking... Here's my point. I'll play the game, you know, ring the ding ding, click the clicks. I don't give a I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Do whatever happens, because it could all fucking it all uproot. It could all be anything, man. They told us Google Plus is the future, and now they're pulling the fucking plug on that shit. So what do you want me to say? Do all the ding dangs. Whim all the whim whams. Do your bookkeeping. It's the only way we can be fed. Demonetized anyway because I said pussy or something. Did I say pussy? Did I say cunt? Demonetized because you said cunt. All right, see you at the Han Solo review, you fucking savages. And then after that, we'll talk about something else. I don't know. Oh, probably like the story of getting fired to here and just getting it all out as a timeline. That'd be fine. Okay, bye. Get the fuck out. What is this? The after credits? Alright, that should actually look good this time. Before it looked really bad. And that's part of the reason I'm repeating the same shit. I'm super not stoked about repeating it a bunch, but... Alright. So if I look at this one from the 26th, which is yesterday. Yeah. When I would cut off, that looks like warmed up garbage, but when I open this one, oh, it's so sexy. It's just it's like board game simulator or whatever. I don't care if it's in writing. You know what I'm saying? Like, hooray! There is a God. Anyway, yesterday was my last day on tweeting at Lindsay Ellis and all that shit. I'm not worried about it. The video will come out and I won't fucking add her. She'll be in the title, intro / comma, an open letter to Dan Ellis and Lindsay Owen. So stupid. I hate everything. I hate myself so much. I'm excited to talk about other things, but I gotta watch this Han Solo movie and edit what I just talked about. So there'll be a stream later today. Bye. Kisses.